No character in this series is safe. So, are you prepared to die?
I am very much. Yeah. I think we're all of us within Thrones. When our time comes, our time comes. But if it comes, we want a good death. That's the main thing. You don't want to just have a quick, stab in the stomach. You want a proper, epic death.
What would be an epic death in your mind for Jon Snow?
Going out fighting a dragon, I think, probably. Getting killed by a dragon would be pretty
That would
cool.
do it. When's the last time you were in a real fight? A fight in real life?
Last time I was in a real fight, I got out of that sort of that phase when I was about my early 20s. I think young men go through a silly phase when they want to show the world who they are. And but yeah, the last one was in a McDonald's in Charing Cross Road, in probably about 4 or 5 years ago.
Do you remember what the fight was about?
Yeah, it was I was standing up for a girl's honour, actually. I sat down. I wanted to sit down at this table. There was nowhere left in the McDonald's to sit, and this young man was sat with his girlfriend, and I asked, "Can I sit down at this table?" And he said yes, and we got chatting. He was really nice at first, and then slowly the girl I was with, he started to insult her for no reason that I could see. And I said, "Look, we don't want any trouble. Please don't be rude." And it went on, and eventually he called her something which was a one thing too far for me, and I stood up, and I called him up. I said, "You can't say that, get up, stand up." And he stood up, and he'd been sat down the whole time. He stood up, and he was a good 2 foot taller than me.
That's funny.
And then I had to just, you can't call a man up and then back down. So yeah.
How did that end up?
Well, it was rather annoying. They we had a fight. We had fisticuffs, and then Charing Cross Road McDonald's has bouncers at it, and they'd seen me throw the first punch and came over and nailed into me. So I had 2 big bouncers and this big bloke beating me up, which I thought was rather unfair.
What sort of fan reaction do you get?
It's fun.
I bet.
It's
young,
fun.
Single, fun. That's
yeah. It's they're a great bunch, the Thrones fans. They really are an intelligent bunch, and that's what I like about this show, is that they're not. There's a misconception, I think, about them, which is that the kind of geeky boys, the sort of slightly Dungeons and Dragons type, and they're really not. They're not that there's anything wrong with that, but they're very, very intelligent, very astute fans, I find. Now,
true that you didn't know that your real name was Christopher until later, like when you were 11 or something?
Yeah, that is true. It's an odd one, but yeah, I sort of didn't. I thought, my parents had always called me Kit, and I never really had any reason to look at my passport because Mum always had it. And I got to school, and they asked me what my name was, and I said Kit, and they said, "Well, that's not what's written down here." And it was kind of a strange existential crisis when I was about 11 years old, wondering what my name was.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you coming in.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.